What is going on, you guys? This is Blaze over here at the Blue Chip Athletic Club podcast coming to you. Episode 101 is talking about uh, ways to make adaptations to your training so that you can continue making progress when you're punched in the mouth with an injury. Quick shout out to the sponsors. We'll leave them all in the show notes. For any pilots that are out there looking to have a professional logbook or anybody who's looking to find a new protein cookie, we've got supplements, you name it. We've got a partner, probably somebody, a connection, somebody we can plug in. So take a peek in there for all those. I'm not going to belabor those today. I'm just on a quick little stroll after the workout this morning. What I want to talk about today is, like I said, adapting to an ever-changing environment of injury, stress, recovery, all these things kind of that you end up working through, pushing through, and sometimes working around. And that's kind of what I'm going to talk about today. So without getting too much into my own medical story, I was playing basketball the other day, and I finished up the game and was worried about some heart issues. So I decided at 8 o'clock at night to go to the emergency room to make sure that my heart was doing okay. Had some chest pains and some things going on. Long story short, everything came out fine. But what I found out from that is that if you injure your musculature around your ribs, particularly on your left side, it could present itself very similarly to heart attacks or heart issues occurring. So I found that out the hard way. Comes to find out that I was diagnosed with, although never did actually go to a cardiologist, but in the ER as well as by my primary care physician with some sort of inflammation and or musculature damage to my intercostals, i.e. muscles that are kind of working to stabilize my trunk in and around the ribs, particularly on the left side. So what did they tell me? The doctor told me, hey dude, let's hang up the basketball shoes for a week or two. What we'll do is we'll monitor it, and then we'll see kind of how you're feeling after a couple weeks. Take some Tylenol, here's some Bengay, and and figure it out. So that's kind of the diagnosis now. Did I waste 4 hours in the ER to figure that out? Yes. Was I very frustrated when I figured that out? Yes. But at the end of the day, I had a little bit of peace of mind and know that something more serious wasn't going on. And I think if that were the case and I didn't go, I'd have been pretty upset. Went over there, got it checked out, got told to stay away from playing basketball for a bit, and then try and rest the injury. And I think for anybody who's broken a rib or had issues in and around the ribs, I think you guys probably know, but it's really, really hard to rest that part of the body. You're breathing all the time, for starters. The other thing is any sort of stability work, anything where you have an uneven load, like you're carrying something, you're picking something up, your trunk and your core is involved. And I think if anything else, I learned how important having a strong core stability is in just day-to-day life. So plug for that. If you guys are not trying to strengthen your core by, an uneven farmer's carry, walking with a heavy load one side to the other side, stabilization work, do that. Is very important. I'll tell you that I find that I get more core stability work from things that are not conventional or old school, like crunches or sit-ups. I think they're kind of dead, and I hope that the fitness world starts to come around to the fact that they're kind of beat exercises and a thing of the past. Anyway, so I find out my core is involved in a lot, from breathing to training. So what have we done to kind of work around that? And that's what I wanted to talk about a little bit today. So today I got in a little bit of trouble from Chelsea because I was not supposed to be training and doing things that she wanted me to essentially rest for a week or two. Sorry, I didn't do that. That's not necessarily in my nature to just sit for a couple weeks. But what I did do is I found a way to work around my injury. What does that mean for you guys? So for me personally, I got really familiar with what movement patterns are going to provide me that pain, and then trying to avoid those while still being able to move. So exhibit A, walking. A super great example of things that did not cause me any pain or discomfort. So I've gone on a handful of walks since being diagnosed with my rib intercostal musculature issues. Today, what I decided to do is I was going to do a workout where I essentially just pushed and pulled a sled for 20 minutes. Now I did it forwards and backwards. I side shuffled side to side, so I could work a little bit of some probably neglected muscles, especially for men in particular when I'm shuffling side to side. The other things that we're doing to make sure that we're able to kind of move. We went for a run. I will say the run in the beginning was not super comfortable. It probably took me like a minute or two to settle in, but then after that, the body kind of got used to the movement. I think promoting a little bit of blood flow to that area, and then probably actually started to heal up, which is another thing that I kind of wanted to talk about when it comes to injury. There's a lot of new medicine, and I'll call techniques and things that are kind of coming out as we get smarter and smarter with the body. But the old metric and old school kind of mentality of RICE, which stands for rest, ice, compression, elevation, for all of you that don't know, is kind of a thing of the past. The new school kind of age of thinking from physical therapists, from doctors, and I'm not one of those things, so if anybody is that's listening to this, feel free to put me on blast here for that, but is the motion is lotion. So providing the body a little bit of movement into the joints, into the tissue, is going to incite some blood flow to that area, and the blood flow to the area is actually going to promote the healing of the tissue quicker than it would be if you just iced it, compressed it, elevated it, and rested for a couple of weeks. There's going to be times where that's going to be important, i.e. like you break a bone or something like that. You probably need to take some time away to let it heal. But a lot of the musculature issues, joints and things like of that nature, they need a little bit of love in the form of movement, mobility training, whatever that thing kind of looks like. So today, again, I went, push and pulled a sled, worked around the injury that I currently have and I'm nursing, to be able to find ways to continue to improve. So that's one, training. The other thing that I wanted to do in these next couple weeks is really lean into, hey, what does my nutrition and sleep look like? How regimented, how structured are those things? Can I improve my sleep environment? Can I improve my recovery by eating a little bit cleaner? Can I track my food so that I can ensure that I'm hitting what I'll call like an ideal macronutrient split for me? What are those other things that I can take and find myself a win in health and wellness when I can't find myself a win in destroying myself with a farmer's carry that is 100 pounds in one hand and nothing in the other? That I think one of the biggest things that we kind of fall into in the health space is like, oh shit, I'm injured, I can't do anything else. And for somebody like me who used to play sports and used to be a really big ego lifter, I think it's a really simple trap to fall into. But nowadays, I think I've stepped back a little bit and thought a little bit more about my holistic health and things that I can lean into, so that I can continue to feel like I'm checking the box, keep the momentum, even if I'm not able to train conventionally, and then come back when I am rested and when I am ready to go, kind of stronger than ever, because I kept some amount of momentum in parts of my health. So taking an injury and then being like, hey, what can I do? Focusing on the things that you can do versus the things that you can't. I can train my hip mobility, even though my ribs are a little bit gooned up right now. I can push and pull a sled. I can dial in my nutrition. I can focus on my sleep, time that I go to sleep, my sleep environment. I can focus on drinking more water. I can focus on my hunger and thirst cues. I can focus on, all these other things that I think we get lost in because training becomes so front and center with our health and wellness that like it kind of drowns out all the other stuff, which arguably I like to think about like, hey, if your day is, a pizza, which we love that, your day is a pizza, we'll call it 24 slices, 24 hours of the clock all the way around. If you're somebody who's probably, I would argue, spending a little bit more time in the gym than you need to, you maybe are there for 2 hours, a 12th of your day. That's what, 8% for any of the math people. That's probably wrong, but close to that. 8% of your day when 92% of your day is spent doing everything else. So if we're only focusing on the 8%, how are we going to make ourselves as good as we can be? Like, I feel like that's just simple math, and it's simple to kind of see when you break it down that way. And it's a way that we kind of break it down here with the clients that we work with. So that is kind of what I'm looking to do over the next, call a week, 2 weeks, train around what we got and continue to make a little bit of progress, even if it's small, by going for a walk and enjoying some time. Oh, also enjoying some time with friends and family because it is a holiday season, and that is an important part of your health, your mental health, your emotional health, your societal, friends, family, strength of relationship. All those things are incredibly important to painting kind of the picture of optimal that we want to make. So that is all I got for you guys. Next year, I want to give a quick program shout out to what we got going on. We're going to do the Lift the Plane Challenge. I think we'll start January. And what that is 67,241 pounds. If you're able to lift that much weight in the month of January, you'll get a sweet patch. What I'm going to do is just do that as an in-app challenge. So if you guys to get in, let me know. We'll send you a free month for the month of January. I'll do a conversion sheet. It'll be basically like an Excel sheet that I'll send to everybody. That's like, hey, 1 push-up's worth this based on your body weight. 1 sit or 1 pull up, 1 squat. Maybe we'll just do those 3 fundamental patterns. I haven't decided how I'm going to score it quite yet. But that's what we're looking to do. So 2026, we're excited to continue to support you guys. And remember, you don't stop playing because you get old. Get old because you stop playing. See you next time. Later.